In the NBA, it's rare for a team owner to openly request a league investigation. But that's exactly what Steve Ballmer, owner of the Los Angeles Clippers, has done after a scandal erupted involving his star, Kawhi Leonard, and a $28 million sponsorship deal that may have violated salary cap rules. The story came to light thanks to a report by journalist Pablo Torre and quickly forced the NBA to take action. According to the report, Leonard received a multi-million-dollar deal with Aspiration, an eco-friendly banking company now bankrupt, in which Ballmer had invested. The problem is that the deal appears to have been a ghost job. Kawhi reportedly received the money without actually providing services. Given the seriousness of the allegations, the league announced an official investigation to determine whether the Clippers and their owner circumvented salary cap rules. In statements to ESPN, Ballmer did not hide and was blunt. "I want the league to investigate, to take this seriously. If another owner were in my position, they would also want to be investigated." With this, Ballmer makes it clear that he is not afraid of the inquiry, even though he denies having had a direct role in Leonard's contract with Aspiration. He explained that he personally introduced the company to Kawhi in November 2021, but he claimed he knew nothing about the terms of the deal. To understand the situation, we have to go back to 2021. That summer, Kawhi Leonard had re-signed with the Clippers for 4 years and $173 million, despite being injured in the knee after the Western Conference Finals. A few months later, the Clippers announced a $300 million partnership with Aspiration, which included sponsorship of the team's new arena and the jersey patch. Aspiration even wanted naming rights for the stadium, but ultimately Intuit won the bid. Meanwhile, the company wanted to connect directly with Leonard, and that's where the link appeared. Ballmer acknowledges that he facilitated the introduction, but insists he had no involvement in what happened afterward. "I simply introduced them. According to the rules, we're allowed to introduce our sponsors to our athletes. What we cannot do is get involved in the negotiations. We made the introduction, and they went on from there on their own." The scandal doesn't end there. It turns out Aspiration was involved in a massive financial fraud. Its co-founder, Joe Sandberg, pleaded guilty to 2 counts of wire fraud after defrauding investors and lenders of more than $248 million. Ballmer insists that he himself was a victim. He invested $50 million, which represented less than 3% of the company, and says he never had control or participation on the board of directors. "Look, I got scammed. I invested in them thinking it was legitimate, and I got scammed. I had no control over the company. I was just a minority shareholder. It was a fraudulent company. Maybe no one really had control." Ballmer admits feeling embarrassed for not spotting red flags in the financial statements, but he insists he had nothing to do with Leonard's contract. The league now must determine whether that sponsorship deal violated salary cap rules. If it is proven that Ballmer or the Clippers used Aspiration as a front to secretly pay Kawhi more money, the punishment could be severe: multi-million-dollar fines, loss of draft picks, and even voided contracts. Ballmer, for his part, insists on his innocence and says he is cooperating with the investigation. He even mentioned that he has reviewed all emails and documents to clarify his role in the introduction between Leonard and Aspiration. This case once again puts Leonard in the eye of the storm. Even though Ballmer wants to take responsibility and clarify his role, the narrative that Kawhi may have received millions with little work has already taken hold in public debate. The impact could be enormous. It affects the Clippers' credibility, Kawhi's reputation, and the future of the franchise, which is about to open its new stadium and aims to establish itself as a contender. The situation for the Clippers and Kawhi Leonard is explosive. What seemed like a simple sponsorship deal is now part of a federal fraud case and an official NBA investigation. Steve Ballmer, one of the league's most powerful and wealthy owners, has decided to face the accusations head-on. But the big question is whether the league will believe his version or end up punishing the organization. At NBA World, we will continue to follow this story closely, as many chapters are still to be written. One thing is certain: this scandal has shaken the Clippers and Kawhi Leonard like never before.